Ladies and gentlemen, today I finally beat one of the hardest zombie bosses ever on PC. Let's get right into the gameplay here, dude. This is Mephistopheles. I know I've just made another video about it, watching the world record, but finally now I'm going to watch my own gameplay of it and see how it goes, just because I think I did a pretty good job. Like I said on my last video today, I've probably done about 15 to 20 attempts on PC to get this, and it was extremely difficult for me. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done in COD Zombies, and like I've said also in that other video, it's such a shame that probably only 0.001% of people have actually even experienced this boss fight. So let me explain it to you. Let me give you the rundown. Essentially what Mephistopheles is, it's a Satan boss fight. It's the ruler of IW. It's essentially Lee Ross, which is kind of like the funny meta part about this. Like, it's just this ultra badass enemy with this great music in the background as well, might I add. But also, there's 5 sigils on the ground. Basically, you gotta let those souls out like you just saw. You have an entangler weapon, which is the 3 button, which I just pulled out. You shoot 4 souls at him, repeat that process 5 times, and then he becomes mortal and you can take him down essentially with some zombie waves in between. That's the whole boss fight. But what makes this boss so hard is zombies are constantly spawning at you. This guy is shooting fireballs at you all the time, and you're gonna see literally in this gameplay how I have 2 cards activated called Evade and Reanimated. Reanimated is just basically a spare quick revive, and then Evade is literally what lets me do this dodge ability in the air, like that ability right there, which is like all these lines come up. It's like an anime running in the sky, basically. But literally without that card, this boss fight is so hard because you can see how fast he takes out damages, or takes out, like, he just throws so much damage onto the map. He has so many different attacks as well. Like, I definitely think this is the zombie boss with the most unique amount of attacks. Like, I think he's got like around 11 or 12 attacks, and if you don't know all of them, he will literally surprise you and they can instantly destroy you. So again, here's the zombie bosses. You can tell it's when he literally blocks out the sun, which is crazy. Like, this boss is absolutely insane in terms of the gameplay. Like, and also, if you haven't noticed, like, you're literally outside in space in the middle of nothing. Like, it's either you take him out or you lose here. And that's kind of the meta thing that happens with the ending cutscene of this game. I really did like this boss fight. It's just too bad that it wasn't in a main trailer title that a lot of people could have actually tried it and enjoyed it. Here I'm just standing behind 2 of the pillars on the arena of the map, and basically what you have to do is just dodge the meteors that he throws down. Also, that's just another random attack he can throw out, and if he throws that attack out, you literally just get instantly killed. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I honestly don't understand that attack. Like, it's slow so you can dodge it, but I've had games where I've literally tried dodging it, and I swear I've ran away from it, and I still die. So, again, you can tell I'm using that evade ability to constantly avoid his fireballs. The fireballs is his worst move. You can tell he's going to use it every time he sort of moves either to the left or right. That's always just like the be scared area. Because there, look, he just did it again. He throws that attack out so many times. And what makes this boss fight so difficult is, again, look, he's just spamming these attacks. He wants me so bad. So, again, I'm doing the second sigil here. All the zombie rounds as well have different types of enemies that you have to face as well. So there's like ninjas that you get. You can also get some more extinction aliens. Look, I'm red screen. 2 of the fireballs hit me, and I'm just, you can tell I'm freaking out. Like, I'm not even hitting these souls. Because again, zombies are constantly on me. He spawns more. He can divide the map as well. You're going to see a lot of different attack moves. So here we go. You can take him out. I just watched the speedrun on my second channel. If you guys want to go see that, the speedrun was 10 minutes. This time it took me to do it here was about 18 minutes. But there are a lot of different things that he did to take out him, Mephistopheles, that I did not do in this gameplay. Such as like shooting his chest symbols here, like while he's outside of the arena. I totally didn't do that. I didn't even know that you could do that. And again, I also was slow just because I downed a lot. I really wanted to make sure I was working safe for a lot of this. And again, this Mauler Sentinel is kind of like pay to win with this game. Like, you literally need 2 variants of 2 specific guns to get to this point in the boss fight, because you have to do a whole other Easter egg to get to this boss fight legit without just using the boss fight mode. There's a slasher round for that zombie round, or the slasher from Raven the Redwoods. It's also really cool because Beast from Beyond is kind of like the Revelations of IW zombies. Like, it has all the other bosses. Like, this is from Raven the Redwoods. It has the clowns from Spaceland. It has the ninja zombies from Shaolin Shuffle. It doesn't have anything for Attack of the Radioactive thing, so maybe that's a good maybe that's a good thing. But either way, we're done the second sigil here. I was pretty proud of myself at this point because usually within like the first 3 sigils, I take it down. So this was sort of the gameplay where I knew, I was like, man, I'm gonna get this. It's gonna be awesome. I really did wish I could have recorded it live, but again, I was tryharding so hard. Like, this is easily the hardest zombies boss fight ever in all of Call of Duty Zombies. It is so unbelievably difficult, and even with the game's fate and fortune card system, it's not like Gobblegums where it will instantly make that boss fight easy. They're not overpowered like that. Like, this is so crazy. There you go here. He just threw a meteor. I thought he was about to divide the map in 2, which is why I went away for a sec. I ran out of ammo with my Venom X here, which is why I have to use the baby breath, which is not even the fully upgraded version of the Mustang and Sally's in this game. So, I mean, explosive pistols, they're kind of good in this game. Sometimes they're not that great. You can see often, like, when I run out of ammo for the Venom X, which basically causes an AoE attack where all the zombies can't get you. So you can just focus on Mephistopheles. So here, I grab that max ammo immediately. He goes under the map all the time. So, dude, like, you can tell how this boss fight was super confusing. And I remember when this first came out, it took, like, over a week for somebody to finally beat this boss fight on solo. Like, it was really easy on 4-player because with 4 players, I feel like there's just not enough of a challenging boss in Zombies to have a 4-player raid like Destiny does. Like, Destiny has a hard 4-player raids, but Zombies does not have hard 4-player Easter eggs, in my opinion. They're just not on that same difficulty. So it would be so cool to see something like that in COD 2024 happen. Also, again, with my Fate and Fortune cards, if you're wondering what I'm running, Evade lets me do that dodge, Reanimated lets me get another self-revive, which are the 2 I have active now, and then Twist of Fate is the one I'm going to be activating once all 5 sigils are up, because literally so many zombies just constantly spawn then, and it's a tornado that goes around the map and just deletes enemies. It's so important to have. So I was going to save that for the last fight, which I did. And then basically, unfortunately, I went down, and when I went down, I lost the evade ability. So you can see how in these first couple sigils, I'm just zooming through this quite easily, and that dodge literally saved my life there. Because if I didn't have that, the ninjas would just delete me, the extinction guys would just teleport on me. Like, there's so many movement gimmicks that the enemies have in this game that you literally require to have a movement gimmick yourself, which is unique, but also just very annoying as well. So here we go, 3 sigils are down. I was really happy about this gameplay, like I said, just because I still had my quick revive, I still had my reanimated card, so I could go down twice here and still be okay. I think this is where on the 4th sigil, I was really having some struggle, just because I was like, damn, what am I going to do here as well? It's so scary when you're placing the talisman and charging it up for like 60 seconds, because look, he's so close to me. He just divided off the map. Like, I'm just trying to run and exist out here, but he's just not letting me in there. Look, it's like, where do I even dodge? He's like, he literally sectioned off that map, and you can't go over that thing, because if you do, it will literally just instantly delete you. There he comes into the map as well. I also didn't know on the world record you could just jump and dodge his attack here. I thought you had to be behind the pillar, so that was fully my bad as well on that part. But again, I mean, for like a couple attempts and for me finally being able to beat this boss, I was pretty happy with my time, and I was just happy that I was able to do it, essentially just because, again, you need certain weapons to do this. I said this on my last video, I would love to see a speedrunner essentially try and beat this Easter egg with a really bad weapon, because you need this weapon that I'm holding here called the Mauler Sentinel, which you have to actually unlock by buying microtransactions in this game, which is why I think it's kind of pay to win for this boss fight experience, but it is not really. It's like pay to even have a damn chance, you know, like, because there's just like no chance. There's literally no shot that you're gonna do this, in my opinion, with like guns that are worse. I would love to see someone do it, but dude, just the rate of enemies that spawn and come after you are just ridiculous. And I mean, I love this boss fight. It's also one of my favorite aesthetic boss fights. It's not like Voyage, where you're just like on the shitty, ugly Titanic ship. Like, no, it's so cool. You're literally in the atmosphere of space deleting this guy. Which is why I think video games shouldn't necessarily always stick to realism, which I think was a problem with like BO3 and BO4, Jason Liddell and all that. Just because they really try to stick with realism, but man, it makes it so much more cooler when it's something like this. Like, just out there. Like, you're literally on an asteroid fighting against Satan himself with like random alien weapons and aliens coming after you. Like, in that regard with the story of IW, I guess it does make sense that they added aliens to be able to take on Satan himself. I guess that makes sense. Like, what else would, like, nothing on Earth would have a chance against a god, right? Like, that's the whole thing with Elden Ring, I guess, where it's like, you need some real alien shit to even stand a chance. It's like some Ben 10 stuff. I mean, dude, it's crazy. And yeah, here are the blue rhinos, which are not as strong as the Beast from Beyond version, where you literally need the EDR bomber variant, which is like a sniper rifle to even take them down. Dude, it's so annoying. I remember not even knowing about that when I first did this boss fight on console. And wow, like, this boss fight was so annoying. I really spent probably like 50 attempts total just to try and beat this boss fight, once on PC and once on console, which is just absolutely saddening. So here we go. 4 sigils are down. I'm actually shocked I'm alive. This is definitely where I take the down then. So I'm 4 out of 5 here. I'm very confident. Yeah, it's definitely right here, because look, that move where he basically circles his hand is called the fiery twister move. And basically, when I was watching in tutorial videos, you just can't outlive this one. You literally are just gonna die if you just stay in there, so you have to stay behind the pillar. Again, I definitely made a lot of mistakes here because I thought I had to go behind the pillar for multiple attacks, but I definitely didn't, like the world record showed. So, I mean, I could have gotten a lot more time done on the sigil than before, because if you guys notice, if you don't constantly get time on it, it will actually just make you restart the whole thing, which is what makes this process so grueling, because you literally have to stand in a specific spot while this homie's shooting fireballs at you, while he's splitting off the map. Like, dude, and also now he's got the black hole ability. It's like, dude, what's going on, man? Why can't I catch a break on this boss fight, dude? It's just insane. I just love the aesthetic, though, of him and the boss fight as well, because, like, the thing I disliked about BO4 and a lot of Black Ops 3 is, like, the final boss would just be the enemy on the map, but bigger. You know, and I was just like, ah, like, that's so lame, dude. That's such a lame trope. Whereas, like, dude, nobody was expecting this in IW. Like, absolutely nobody. This was just a whole crazy new experience. Here you can see, I remember I was struggling to reload my Venom X because all the zombies were coming after me, and I was like, oh no, dude, I don't want to die, bro. But yeah, dude, it's wild because even when he's not summoning them, the zombies still come over. So there we go. All 5 are up. Wow, did I actually do all 5 without downing? I must have downed all on the final stage, which is why I was just like so scared about it. So there we go. All 5 sigils are up. And now once all 5 sigils are up, essentially what you have to do is basically fill up all the sigils until all the masks on these talismans are flying up. And the way you do that is by standing in the circle and shooting Mephistopheles. But here's the problem. You can see I ran out, or I'm basically just struggling now. I spawned in the Twister card. You can see that all the zombies are coming in. There's the tornado basically taking them all out. But here, he's shooting his fire, and I have to make sure that I'm shooting him. But he's just going to constantly spam these attacks. He's going to go through the map now, breathe fire. Like, dude, who made this boss fight? It's insane, dude. Like, you would never expect something like this on IW, which is the craziest part as well. So, I mean, it's just very difficult. You can see here that I'm trying to shoot, and I didn't even notice because the tornado is in my head that he threw those, and I was like, dude, I had to pause. I was like, oh, let me just skip this because I'm like, dude, what the heck is going on? I had to pause, make sure I was doing everything okay. There's the fire twister here. He's going through it. I mean, this is the scariest thing because I never have gotten to this phase before on PC, so I was like, at this point, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't down. At least I still had to be animated at this point, but dude, even then, I took another down. Like, those fireballs, the problem is, it's like, he throws 3 so fast, and there's barely any animation to indicate it. He literally just goes like that. He just, look, he just throws his arm out, and it's like, the indication, I guess, is when he's moving left to right. But, dude, it's still so hard to capture. Look, he's, like, just deleting me here. I barely had any room. Half the map right there. Like, what could I have even done? He's throwing his asteroid. Like, I got 2 of the sigils up. He spawned a slasher on me. Like, dude, the world record run did not have this many enemies, which is why I'm shocked as to how he did it so fast. He must have just shot him, like, more while, like, there were less zombies, where, like, I definitely wasn't doing that for some reason. Also, again, he's going here, so I thought I had to go behind the map, which then took so much longer to the zombie boss fight, which makes sense. But man, I highly suggest, like, if you guys don't want to do all the Easter eggs to try out this boss fight and you do have IW, or if you want to, like, a lot of BO4 players have came up to me and said that they've never played this game. And I'm like, dude, this game could have been like the next BO3. This game has a lot of better mechanics than BO3 in my opinion. And like, it just sucks because the maps were not that great. Like, the bosses were great, the enemies were great, but the maps are just really kind of not that great. And there you go. He spammed that fireball right when I was behind the pillar from all the other zombies. So I just had to take that down. He split off the map again. He spawned in a rhino here. So look at me. Literally, he's shooting fireballs. He halved the map. There's a rhino on this side. Like, what am I supposed to do, man? Like, but the thing is what I was going to say is if you don't want to do all the Easter eggs, basically all you have to do is just go onto the game and play the boss fight mode. You can fight this boss just by choosing all the guns necessary. The thing is, though, is you won't really have a lot of experience. You won't have the greatest variants of the weapons because you have to get those with the pay-to-play system, unfortunately, on this game. But still, it is so much fun. And I mean, if you want to just watch and enjoy from there, do it. But like, this boss is amazing. It is such a crime that this boss is not on anything else. Look at that. He did a fiery twister and he's throwing fireballs at me. So here we go. All my talismans are up. I'm like literally sweating and shaking at this point because I've tried to do this 20 times. Where again, I might have to remind you, you have to do the whole Beast from Beyond Easter egg to even get a chance to doing this once legit. You have to do a whole boss fight and a whole Easter egg to do this legit. And there we go. I reloaded the weapon here. I realized that he was mortal. He's going to teleport. If you don't take him out while he's in the middle here, he does a basic attack. That's like the Garage Kobe bomb step. It just ends the game, which is the craziest thing. But if you do have this variant of this LMG like I have, put it in his head. He will not be able to do it like he is here. And I took him out, and it was awesome. So again, I think I did pretty good. There were definitely a couple skips that I did not recognize and didn't understand to do, but I just love this ending. They basically get them trapped themselves. Lee Ross is like, homie, you just video game characters now, bro. We took you, we consumed you. It's over. It's just such a meta gameplay. You got some Spaceland, Rave, Shaolin right there. Attack the radioactive thing. Beast from Beyond, all contained. And Magical Flash. Ladies and gentlemen, that is called Blue Zombies. Thank you again so much for coming out. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what other content you guys would like me to do on COD Zombies soon. Thank you again, and I'll see y'all in that next one.